I just sneezed on Cindy, sorry. Hello again and welcome back to March Payne's Midlife Dolly Crisis and to my giant head, which you're now seeing. Today is a special day because, I don't know if you heard, but Cindy's back. Sadly not Michelle Collins returning to EastEnders, but Cindy Doll. For people who are unaware, and I know Cindy was very big in the UK, possibly not elsewhere in the world, but Cindy was basically the UK version of Barbie. She launched in 1963. She was very, very popular up until kind of the early 80s, and then I think Barbie probably kind of took over a bit. Certainly from my childhood, from sort of like the 70s and early 80s, she was the doll which I remember a lot of girls getting, probably because their mothers had played with them. She was kind of a bit more wholesome looking, I guess, than Barbie. Barbie was very American, I think, and probably a lot of British mothers didn't want their children playing with American Doll, maybe. She was more of a kind of homely kind of doll who still had, you know, nice fashions and stuff like that. So since the 80s, basically, she's had a really checkered history. They basically remodeled her face at one point so that she basically looked like Barbie, which I think is a shame because the kind of image that I always have of Cindy is, thankfully, the mould that they seem to be using now. So I'm going to show you the box, but we're going to have a proper look, obviously, when I unbox her. But this is the one I got. So they've launched 6 of these dolls. I picked her up yesterday. So yeah, we're going to have a closer look at her and see what we think. I'm very excited because I wasn't allowed to have dolls as a child, which is probably why I'm so messed up now and have so many of them. So yeah, let's have a closer look at this girl and see what we think. So here we are, my very first Cindy doll. So she is part of the new Playline series, which has been created by Kids Creations. Last year they did have a series of collector's dolls. And these are not dissimilar in their face moulds and bodies than they were. Obviously, for the collector's dolls, they were the quality of the costumes and accessories and stuff was obviously more high-end than this. They were about, I think, £80 or £90. They were really nice dolls by the looks of it. I think a few of them are still available on the website. I was very tempted, but I held off, and then when these were announced I thought, okay, maybe I'll give these a go, as they're a bit more affordable. Plus, you can't just pop into Argos and buy collector's dolls normally, where I could do that with this. So she cost me €25, and in the UK, they are this particular doll, there are a few different prices for the various dolls that have just come out. This doll in the UK is retailing at £20. So they haven't really hiked the price up or anything like that. It seems pretty fair. I know the girl with the horse is, I think she's like 40 odd here, and I think in the UK she's like 30. So that is the most expensive one, I believe, from the range. So the packaging here, I don't want to use the word girly, but I guess, you know, pastel colours, lots of pinks and purples and things like that. Obviously aiming for the girls' market, I guess. So we have the very iconic Cindy logo at the top with the big sort of swirly S there. And the joined up writing for Indie. It's in a heart, and we've also got the Union Jack on there in kind of like pinks and purples and whites, and we have the same thing down the bottom in more kind of pastel colours. I know that this kind of Union Jack was part of the packaging for the collector's dolls as well. So we have a little artist impression here of what the doll is meant to look like. And we also have here an image of what you can basically make the packaging into, because the packaging you can actually fold out and make it into the little sort of bakery shop, which is really nice. It's a really innovative idea to do that with the packaging, I think. And at least it means that if you've got the doll, you haven't just got a doll, you've also got like a play set for her. If we turn her over, we have another image of her on the back. These images are really cute. Whoever has done them has, you know, done a really beautiful job with them. So we have her here with Make Yourself Proud, and then at the bottom, unfortunately we have an Argos label there, but we have an image of all the other dolls, again with the artist's impression of them. Obviously this is the one we've got now. This girl is fashion blogger. This girl is, I think it's like a salon, like a hairdresser. The next doll is pet shop, and then we have the ballet dancer and the kind of horsey girl at the end who we can't really see. So let's open her up. Hopefully this won't be too difficult. Obviously, if you're meant to be able to reuse the packaging, you would hope that it's going to be fairly easy to open. So yeah, let's have a very quick look at the packaging. So I've basically pulled this bit out, and underneath there was this sheet of cutouts here. So you've kind of got various things you can do. Obviously, if this is for a child, you might want to get an adult to cut it out for them. But as I say, it's a really nice idea to be able to do this. And essentially you would stand this up. So it would be stood up like this, and obviously you can put your doll in it. And there's also here, there's like a till point bit here, which you can cut out and make. There is kind of signage for outside the shop here. So yeah, you can have a lot of fun with this. And it's just nice to be able to reuse the packaging, really, rather than just, right, let's pop that in the bin or recycling or whatever. So here she is in her plastic with lots of little accessories and things. There's tape on one side, so if you just literally just snip through that, the lid bit will just come off, and you can release her. So let's put her here. And then there's some little accessories that you get with this. Obviously this is meant to be like a bakery shop. So there are some tiny little cakes here, which is really cute, and a donut and some ice cream. And I think some sundaes there. And then she has a little apron, which is attached, I think, yeah, with a sticky thing. There's also a little book down at the bottom here, which I know has got a few people excited because it's got some potential fashion things that are coming up, hopefully some clothes. And it's also got little quizzes and things like that in there. So that's kind of cute. And also it's the sort of size that she could have as a book as well. So again, that's another nice little touch there. I'm going to put this to one side, and we're going to have a proper look at Cindy herself. So here she is. She feels very nice. She's so posable by the looks of it, which, you know, you don't always get with dolls these days, particularly I'm looking at you, Barbie. Her hair is this wonderful kind of purple or kind of lavender colour, and it feels so soft. It's so nice. I think certainly with some of the Barbie fashionistas that I've got, the hair is not always that nice when you open them. And certainly with the Blythe dolls, obviously you've seen my issues with some of the hair that I've had with the stock dolls there. But this just feels so nice. The quality is obviously, you know, very good. It's in a really nice little style, which I'm not going to mess with because I'll probably never get it to look like that again. But yeah, so she is wearing, oops, a bit of hair there. So she's wearing this sort of purple outfit, which obviously matches her hair and you know, some of the colours in the shop. So it's a simple dress. It's held on by Velcro at the back, which I'm not going to take off. And it's got a kind of like a net overlay on the skirt. Obviously the kind of pattern on the dress is kind of reminiscent of those little things that you'd find on cupcakes. And yeah, as I say, she seems very posable. She's got lots of movement. So you know, she's got these little shoes here. Again, they're kind of like a kind of lilac-y colour. Don't know if you can see those there. And yeah, she's very posable. Let's just take her dress off for a second and have a look. So here she is. So she does have the kind of printed on pants, which I know Barbie has as well. And yeah, so she has these kind of ball joints at the shoulder, which means that the arms go up and down and can go around and back and forth. She has elbow joints as well, which you can twist and move, so that's great. And she also has a bit of movement at her wrist as well. Leg-wise, again, we have the ball joint, which means that it can go kind of in and out and also up and down. The knees also move as well, which is great. And we also have movement with the ankles as well. Many round, I don't think they don't seem to, do they move up and down? I don't really want to force it. I'm not going to move those. I think that's fine. She also has movement at the waist as well. So, you know, she can move there. And her head basically just turns left and right. There's no kind of, it's not got a ball thing, so her head can't move, you know, around. I know with the collector's dolls that they could do that, but yeah, with her, it's literally just back and forth, back and forth. So here she is back in her outfit, and I've also got the apron here, which I'm going to put on. Again, this has Velcro on it. So I guess when she's working, she'll have this on, because obviously she's baking all day. And then when she goes out later, she can take it off and have, you know, still quite a cute looking dress. It's also got this this Sindy tag, again with the iconic swirly S on it, which you probably can't see very well. But yeah, let's pop this apron on her. And yeah, so she has this very iconic face. I remember this kind of face mould from when I was a child, and you know, girls would have the doll. The makeup is very simple. She's got a little bit of blusher. She's got very kind of almost kind of raspberry pink lips there. She has eyebrows painted on, and she has little eyelashes again painted on. I know with the kind of classic Sindy, she kind of had rooted eyelashes, which obviously this girl doesn't have. So I was kind of curious to see whether or not she could hold stuff that she came with, and I've got her here holding a donut, which is great. She can't quite reach her mouth, so that's not really a biggie, but yeah, especially when you consider that the fashionistas can't even bend their elbows. So I thought it might be interesting to compare Sindy with a Barbie doll. So this is kind of the general size of a Barbie. She was the kind of the budget one that I bought a little while back. I don't know if you remember. You've probably seen her in a few videos, probably hanging around in the beach hut. So yeah, so she's a pretty standard Barbie. Her articulation is obviously very basic. She's got the whole shoulder thing going on and the whole sort of leg thing going on, but not a huge amount. No knee bends, no elbow bends. The head does sort of kind of do that whole pivoty thing, whereas hers doesn't. But this girl obviously has a lot more articulation because her elbows, wrists, knees and feet move. She's also got the waist thing going on, which this girl doesn't. So yeah, I mean, size-wise, they aren't that dissimilar, not really. I think proportion-wise is slightly different. Barbie is kind of a bit taller and I think probably a bit slimmer, not by a huge amount. The head size is noticeably different in that Sindy has a bigger head to Barbie. But I think, I mean, all those years ago, I believe, you know, Sindy always had the bigger head out of the two anyway, despite the fact that you know, they've both been through a few changes since the 80s. But yeah, I thought it'd be interesting just to kind of see them side by side. I seem to remember that there was a bigger difference between the two dolls, size-wise. There isn't a huge amount, not really. As I say, it's more to do with kind of proportions, I think, than anything else. And maybe it is just kind of the head more than anything. So let's put her away. So yeah, so I'm very pleased with my very first Sindy doll. The hair, as I say, is so soft. I can't stop touching it. What do you think? Did you have a Sindy when you were growing up? I didn't have one because I wasn't allowed, but my cousin had one. She had I'm sure she had the kind of the horse one. Or maybe it was the ballet dancer. I'm not really sure. I know those two are the very popular ones. But yeah, what do you think about the new Sindy? Will you be getting one? Will you just stick to the vintage ones? I kind of really like the vintage ones, but they are not cheap, are they? And I don't really know that much about them to kind of know what I'm buying into. But yeah, please comment down below. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you haven't already. So until the next time, have a great time doing whatever you're doing, and I will see you soon. Bye.